Tom Williams here with 2 Ohio with Mr. Craig Newmark from Craigslist, and we're just going to ask a couple questions here. Craig, what can you tell us about why you came over to Columbus today and what you expect to get out of the event tonight?
Well, one of the areas I'm most interested in has to do with the use of some of the new technologies, both to spur economic development, but also to move our country ahead into a time when networked grassroots democracy is a lot about how governance works. So those two areas are both pretty important to me. And I went to school in Ohio.
Very nice. Another question regarding specifically the Obama campaign. If you could say something directly to Barack, if you were standing in the room, about where he sees technology going in the country, what would that type of question be?
Well, I'd be asking Barack, hey, are we in the whole team ready to turn the networked group from one responsible for making you president to one that will be helping run the government? The idea is that there's going to be a network of at least several million people, and there'll be a lot of good ideas there, and everyone's voice will be heard.
One more question just for all the entrepreneurs, because this room's going to be filled up with entrepreneurs and people. I just would like to ask, how did you get the idea for Craigslist? How did you start that and get it off the ground from like a bootstrap? Everyone knows it's successful now, but at day one, it was just an idea. How did you take it from idea to reality?
Well, don't give me too much credit for the ideas behind Craigslist. I had one good idea, beginning of '95, which was that of a simple CC list for events around San Francisco. After that, I just started listening to people. People made suggestions, and I did something about that. Got more suggestions, did more, and so on. And so almost everything on Craigslist derives from suggestions from the community. I have no vision at all, but I'm good at listening and following through. And now on a company basis, Jim Buckmaster, who runs things, is good at listening and acting.
All right. With the whole advent of social media, Web 2.0, where do you see technology going in the next couple of years?
In terms of big technology trends, aside from how people are going to use the technology, I think the biggest trend will be how people use the net on smartphones.
So mobile technology then, mobile computing.
Yeah. Mobile technology is how most of the people in the world, I think, will use the internet. Mobile technology is something that bridges the digital divide, because pretty much everyone in the world over time will be using mobile devices to connect with each other. That's the great promise for a lot of places, including Africa and so on.
One final question, because I'm sure Craigslist isn't occupying 100% of your time anymore. What's coming down the line for Craig Newmark?
Well, Craigslist consumes a big chunk of my time, and I still do serious customer service work at Craigslist. Beyond that, I realized very recently that what I do at Craigslist and outside, I'm a community organizer. I'm an online community organizer, which is very attractive to me since it means I don't have to get my butt off the chair. I'm working in areas like helping out veterans and their families through the Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America. I'm working with voter registration groups, because that's really important right now. I work for consumer protections via participation in consumer reports. I'm on the board there. There's a lot of other areas I'm involved with: government and accountability and transparency via Sunlight Foundation. There's even more, but I'm tired of hearing myself talk.
Fantastic. Craig, thank you so much for coming out and joining us at 2
Ohio.
Craig Newmark, folks.